EDUT 521, welcome to week one. Hopefully by this point you've watched the welcome video and the few other videos on some tips and tricks that really will help you not only in this class but moving forward. But right now let's jump into week one. This is what my weekly announcements look like. They always follow the same format, but then I'll go through, and as you can see I have a lot of tabs here, and I'll go through in more detail. But I like to start each week off with a quote from a book or a movie. I believe this course I'm really focusing more from books. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than the ones that you did do. And that's by H.Jackson Brown Jr. from P.S. I Love You. Full disclosure, I have not read that book, but I saw that quote and I loved it. And obviously being a couple courses in now to your program, you definitely have jumped in and decided to do something rather than not. For week one here, we're jumping right into the course, learning about what is assistive technology, how it's defined, some of the laws around it. We look at some of the tools used within the writing process and how to evaluate those tools. And so you see the acronym AT a lot, and it just stands for Assistive Technology. A lot of that information comes straight for the text. And so you have 2 chapters to read in the text. I believe it's around 47 pages total. And so chapter 1 really is, what is assistive technology, some terms, which is good to get a baseline for the whole course, and doing discussion board questions and things of that nature. A little bit of the laws behind the IDEA and Section 504 and then ADA, how the tech plan and Common Core standards play into that. So I won't read through the whole thing, but it's a lot of good. Chapter 1 is great to give you a baseline to really be able to participate in some of the conversations throughout the course. And then chapter 2 pops into using AT to support writing. And so some of the issues students with disabilities may have, some of the challenges, technology tools that can help support that, graphic organizers, on and on and on. And so, like I said, I believe, it's about 46 pages. And so that is the text. So you're going to have to spend a little bit of time pushing through that, because that's not a short reading assignment. And then there's 2 videos, and I have these videos up. So Understanding Assistive Technology, it's only 2.5 minutes. And then this next video is only 3.5 minutes. So they're not very long. Short watches, but those along with the text do really give you a great baseline for this whole course. And discussion board question 1, you can see here, I also opened it up right here, and it's watch this video, which is only a 3.5 minute video on this. I actually saw this in real time. I think it came out a couple years ago. I saw it on the local news here in Sacramento. It was one of those stories, and it's an amazing story about a student that had developed echolocation. It's fascinating. It's a great little watch. And then discuss how the mindset of both the parents and the students play into the process of matching students with AT tools to set them up for success. So not every tool is a great tool for every situation. And so your initial are due Thursday, and then you have to respond to at least 2 peers by Sunday. I tell all my students in all my courses, really try to get that initial one out Tuesday or Wednesday, because that gives you more time to respond, and the dialogue is just much better. So the deadline is Thursday, but if you get your discussion post out earlier in the week, it really gives everyone in the course more time to have a better dialogue. So this week, you really only have 2 assignments that are due this week. Discussion question 1, and then your assistive technology table, which I'll pop into that in just 1 second. And then looking ahead, you have 3 chapters, 1 video, and 2 assignments, which I'm going to talk about both of those here in a minute as well. This is your e-portfolio is due at the end of the class, and then Try Something New is due week 4, but you have a work to do every week on it. So we're gonna jump around and kind of go through some of those in a minute here. If you look at the week 1, it kind of goes through in more detail what I just went with you on your overview. It gives you definitely more hard-lined learning outcomes. Your weekly devotion, which I highly recommend not to skip over. And then this video will be right there. Here is where you can also get all the videos and the chapters, your discussion board question. Once again, the self-paced e-lessons are really good. definitely don't skip over them. There's a lot of good information in there. And so here's your assignments. So before I get into assignment one and we talk about the assignment that's due this week, let's talk about these two real quick. So your e-portfolio is the big assignment that's due at the end of the course. So it's due at the end of 8 week. And here is your guideline. It tells you there are 14 sections. Some of those sections have subsections, and there's pieces due every week. They're not due every week, but from every week that you need to put in there. And it gives you grading criteria and a rubric. Everything is graded on that rubric, so you need to make sure you hit, all the way over in this column if you want to get all the points for that rubric. One thing it says, though, is this may be turned in any format. I really want this done in Google Sites. And so you'll see here on week one, I put a little screencast video of how to use Google Sites to do this. And it just makes a lot more sense to do it in Google Sites when you're going to be doing your documents and your work in Google Docs for the most part. It's just so easy to embed and share. And so watch this video. It's about a 10-minute video that goes through how to set that up and how to set up your portfolio for this class specifically in Google Sites. And then the week 3 is actually, or the assignment 3 is due at the end of week 4, but there's something to do every week for it. And so I have that open right here. Assignment 3, try something new, and it's find at least one example of a technology tool that falls into the categories for each of the weeks, and then answer these questions: what worked, what didn't, what we do next time, would you use the tool in the future, and how would you recommend it for specific students. And so if you click this button right there, it's going to open this, and you can file, make a copy, and you can copy this into your Google Drive. All these assignments, they say, download it as a Word doc and all that kind of good stuff. Put it in your Google Drive, create a folder for this class. It's so much easier. So once you make a copy, then you can use this sheet and you can fill it out. So for week 1, what tool did you evaluate? What worked? What didn't work? Would you use it in the future? Additional remarks. So week 2, there's a tool to use. And so each of them, it's really spelled out right here. For week 1, it's a writing tool. For week 2, it's a reading. For week 3, it's math. And week 4, it's communication. And every week, I'll remind you of this. But so for week 1, you're gonna want to once again take this document, file, make a copy so it's in your drive, and you're going to find a writing tool and you're going to answer these questions for it. So that assignment's not due until week 4, but you need to do a piece of it every week. And that's kind of the MO for this course. Is there's a lot of assignments that are ongoing throughout the weeks. And so then let's talk about this week's assignment, which is assignment number 1, Assistive Technology Table. You're going to create a table, and it says submit as a Word document. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you're going to create a table of 3 columns, and you're going to label the columns components, tools, and tools desired. And you're just going to do what it says. It's not anything crazy or way out there. Once again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me earlier in the week than later. I highly recommend you do all your work in Google Docs. That way, once again, you create a folder for this class specifically, entitle this one Assignment 1, Assistive Technology Table, and do what it says. And then before you submit it, because right now the submission links for the box on Blackboard don't allow straight upload from Google, all you would do is you would download it as a Word doc or even a PDF. If you want to keep formatting, you can download as a PDF. Then when you're submitting it, you submit that document to the box and it puts it right in the box. And then over in the notes, just go to share. And, for me, you would want to say anyone with the link can comment. You copy that link and you put that over in the notes. That's a much better way to submit everything, is download it as a PDF or a Word doc, upload it back into the submission box, and then put the link on the notes so the professor can see it right in the box and comment there, but also can see the Google side of it as well. Once again, if you have any questions on that, just reach out to me. So for week 1, really your assignment is this assignment 1, the Assistive Technology Table, your discussion question, and there's a piece in both the e-portfolio and assignment 3 from week 1, but they're not due till week 4 and week 8. but you definitely do not want to get behind on those. And so that is week 1 of EDUT 521. I try to keep most of my weekly announcement videos under about 7 minutes, but this first week we kind of had a lot to get through. So have a great week 1. I look forward to learning right alongside all of you. And I can't reiterate enough, if you have any questions, reach out to me via email, text, phone call, direct message on Twitter, or even Voxer is fine. Have a great week.